Adam Neumann, welcome to the stage, and Steve Bertoni, senior editor at Forbes.
6 years ago, WeWork had 3,000 square feet and one employee in Soho.
Yeah.
What do you have now?
So we had 3,000 square feet, 30 members, one employee, and two co-founders. And the employee was the brother of my co-founder. It was just the three of us. And today, 6 years later, we have approximately almost 2,000 employees. We have 99 locations around the world in 32 cities, in 13 countries, in 3 continents. We have over 10 million square feet. And what's really interesting, and we were saying this before, we're starting to feel like finally, after we've planted all these seeds and started building the foundation, we're getting ready to fulfill on our mission to create a world where people actually make a life and not just a living. And it's a very exciting thing. It's one excitement when you're starting your business and you know that things are coming. And there's a second level of excitement when all that hard effort that your employees, your team members, your, in our case, members we call them instead of customers, or community members, all comes together to starting to be able to deliver on the dream that we had. And we now understand that we've maybe achieved 5% of everything we wanted to do, and we're just getting started.
You grew so fast, and this was the first time you've ever done any kind of community play, real estate play. How do you go from managing one employee to the empire? What do you do? Is there a way to learn it?
You know, that's a great question, and I think one of the things that's important to understand in leadership and with your businesses and with your endeavors, there's a lot that you're not going to know, and I, for example, give one that I had no clue. Someone told me this early on. He said, you're going to need to interview 30% of your time. As a CEO, you should spend 30% of your time interviewing. Meanwhile, I was like, this investor has no clue. How can I have to run everything? 6 years later, I wish I used to spend 30% of my time interviewing. I must spend today 40% of my time interviewing, and the reason I'm spending so much time is because I didn't do the work 6 years ago and 5 years ago. That's just something I was told but didn't learn. Employees, it's one company when you have 70 employees, then another at 150, then again at 500, then again at 1,200, and then a whole different one at 2,000. So it's almost like we've had 6 different companies. And each time it took a completely different set of abilities to achieve what we're achieving.
Why is co-working catching on now? I mean, I feel like business has been around for centuries, offices have always been around. What is it that's making this shift?
So now we're going a little bit theoretical, but as the building the new technology tribe. So let's talk about tribes for a second. Back in the day, when I say back in the day, I don't mean like 20 years ago, I mean 1,000 years ago, and even longer than that. We used to be all a tribe, this or that, where we had different tribes. And in our tribe, there would be different people that had different abilities. And one person was great at making a wheel, and another one was good with the cows, and another person, even if you go longer, was good at hunting and farming. And we each brought something to the table, and we were only able to survive as human species as one tribe, or as multiple tribes, but as a group. Then technology sort of caught up, industrialism caught up, and suddenly society was able to give us a lot of things, and we thought we could do it by ourselves. We could have our own job. Some people we don't even have to marry. We don't even need a partner if we have a small family, and we can do it ourselves because we can go to the grocery store, buy whatever we need, and we're not reliant. Well, that's a misunderstanding of this world. We're all so connected, and if we in one country do very bad things, then it can then affect a completely different country. And we talk a lot about being very green now in the US, but there are a lot of countries around the world that are just 30 years behind.
And why do you think this is happening now? Like, this is why
it's coming back.
Is it technology? Is it society? Is it?
The world was ready for a we, not me. And all we needed was a little bit more connectivity. Cell phones and the iPhone, it's funny, it's called the iPhone. The iPhone gave us that connectivity, but I will argue that a lot of technologies today disconnect us.